Hi, this is Rajendran here from Market Calls, and today's date is 15th December and time is 3:42 a.m. And this video is quick update on Indian and global market sentimental update. So let me get into the Nifty future charts. So this is Nifty 15 December charts, and on Monday morning, Indian markets opened gap down due to weak cues from the global markets like Asian markets and US markets. US markets, the Dow Jones closed 300 points lower on last Friday, and the Asian markets are trading weaker by the time Indian markets opened. So after a gap down opening, the price moved sharply, and it manages to close higher. Though there was an intraday down movement of 60 points from the peak, but still there was an last minute recovery, and Nifty December futures managed to close at 7672.15. And while looking into the option interest data, so the option interest data says the 7,500 put option is being returned, and most possibly the retail players are building open interest at 7,500 levels, and next to the highest put open interest, we can see 8,000 call open interest has an highest open interest. And when it comes to the global sentiment, the US market closed positive, and S&P 500 was up 0.48%, and the European markets has been closed weaker. FTSE, DAX, CAC, everyone lost more than 1.3%, and DAX was the top loser, and it had lost around 1.94%. The Asian markets, once again, Nikkei, Hang Seng closed negatively, and Hang Seng recovered from the gap down opening and managed to close at 0.72% of losses. Shanghai Composite was down at the market opening, but still managed to close at 2.51% gains. Indian market, the volatility index is up 4.24%, whereas the global market for the Dow Jones, for the S&P 500, the VIX index is down 6.81%. Initially, the volatility index was heavily up, but followed by an midday market recovery. VIX was down 6.81%. And while coming to the sentiment, daily sentiment in the markets, the Nifty futures turned positive on. The daily sentiment turned positive in the sense the RSX value was 98.87 on 9th of December, followed by an positive sentiment. Positive sentiment is on 10th of December. Since then, the positive sentiment continues to be on hold. So far, the positive sentiment is keep on continuing on the daily charts. So 15th December, before the Fed market event is going to begin, I don't see any sudden change in the sentiment in the market. But the long-term sentiment, when I try to get into the weekly charts, the weekly sentiment is getting weaker. Last week, the Nifty futures weekly sentiment got negative, and so far this week continues to be negative. And it should be noted that the week low has been made on Monday at the gap down, and to me the short run looks positive on 15th of December morning, whereas the long run is still tricky as long as Nifty manages to close above 7,800 on weekly basis. On the downside, there was a small gap left at 7072. I think I should mark it out. So this is the zone. This zone, the high of the zone is at 7052. Let we plot an line over here so that we can understand. So this is a gap which is still yet to be closed. So if this sentiment, the weekly sentiment is negative, we can expect the downside reference level to be up to till 7,000. And while coming to Bank Nifty futures, Bank Nifty, we'll go to daily sentiment. So the daily sentiment is weaker, and still the negativity is continuing, but it's at the extreme oversold levels. The Zurich RSX is representing a minus 99.37%, but still the intraday recovery in Bank Nifty is not that positive as the Nifty does. And when it comes to the weekly sentiment in Bank Nifty, the Bank Nifty also turned negative last week. Bank Nifty also turned negative last week. Let me zoom the charts. Bank Nifty sentiment also turned negative last week and still continuing to be weaker. So we can expect an weaker markets in Bank Nifty henceforth. Also, before the bond market begins and before the Fed meeting begins, there was a sharp sell-off in junk bonds, and there was a sell-off in equities across most of the major global market indices. So the market which we are going to experience on 15th is mostly shorter term traders are likely to be in control, whereas the long term money is going to wait and watch for the Fed event announcement. And there was an consensus that Fed is likely to increase their short term interest rate by 0.25%. So so far the commodity market is also not supporting, and crude is at all-time low. Not all-time low, but the crude is currently trading at multi-year low and currently down by it tested an intraday low of 34.51 and managed to close positive finally, and the crude sentiment had turned positive today before the Fed meeting starts. So it's interesting to watch crude movement anyways. And the gold sentiment, when it comes to the gold sentiment, so we had gold sentiment still continues to be positive. Let me say USD. So the gold sentiment on the daily chart is continuing to be weaker, whereas while looking into the weekly sentiment, it still holds the positive sentiment. The indicators represents the positive sentiments. As it points, there was a hook reversal, and the positive sentiment is continuing for the last 2 weeks. So from the commodity front, it is interesting for me to watch both crude and gold. Once the Fed event starts, possibly we can expect a sharp rise in crude and gold, whereas the equity market sounds positive in the short term, but maybe the weekly sentiment is not supporting. When it comes to Nifty futures, as I said, it is a request. As I said, Nifty futures has to manage to close above 7,800 for any long-term sentiment to turn positive. Otherwise, the nearest reference level is the gap zone, which we can target as long as the weekly sentiment in Nifty futures remains positive, sorry, negative. So this is the observation from my side, and thanks for watching this video. We'll come up with an interesting video in the near future. Thank you.